Hey guys, Alan here. So I thought I would do another quick video / impressions thing on patch 1.4. Oh, get stabbed. 0.4. 1.4.4, sorry. That guy had a shotgun, by the way. He shotgun rushed me and got fucking stabbed. Anyway. So, 1.4.4 for Hunt is out and came with a whole bunch of changes, many of which were not really liked by the greater community. And by greater community, I mean veterans, the old guard, the people who have been around for a long time. I'm actually one of them. I'm one of those people that have been playing for a long time. However, I'm not one of those people that dislikes the changes. There's a whole bunch to talk about. However, this is less of a in-depth dive on 1.4.4 and my thoughts on it, and really just like a quick, snappy, this is what I think, more of a rant. We're going to call it a rant. It's more of a rant. It's more of a rant on 1.4.4. So, real quick. I say real quick, but this will probably be like 10 minutes. 1.4.4, apart from all the other little tweaks and bug fixes, the big thing that it did was added a change to how quick swapping works, or quick switching, or just QS for short. Okay, I'm just going to call it QS, because we all know what that is now. At least, well, you do now. So quick swapping is when you fire your primary weapon, and then you quickly switch to your secondary, and you get a nice little secondary shot off. That was the preferred method of dispatching anyone, really, at anything from like 100 to, well, actually from 0 through till, about 150 meters. That was kind of the preferred method of killing someone. Outside of that, really, damage drop-off on your secondary didn't really finish the job. But with inside those meters, that was sort of the preferred method of dealing with people. You'd hit them with your primary, you'd press Q, most likely, or 2, or whatever, and to go to your secondary, if you're on PC, of course, or whatever your console-specific equivalent is, and then you would swap to your secondary and murder them. That's it. Shoot, swap, shoot. That was it. And that was usually enough to bring anyone down, provided you got 2 chest taps. However, with patch 1.4.4, you can no longer... I'm going to say you sort of can't really do that as effectively. You can still definitely do it, but not as effectively. And the reason why you can no longer do it as effectively is in patch 1.4.4, the time it takes for you to pull out your secondary weapon after firing with your primary is greatly increased. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually a lot. It used to be, the numbers, and someone's going to yell at me, but I'm pretty sure it took about 1.5 seconds to shoot someone and then swap to your secondary. Now, again, I'm not exact with the numbers, and I'm just lazy and can't be bothered looking them up, but it feels closer to 2. That doesn't sound like much, but realistically it is. Even though my numbers here are probably completely bonkers wrong, it's still very noticeable. You fire, you swap your weapon, and then it just takes longer for your secondary to come out. Not by much, but enough to notice it. On top of that, when your secondary weapon comes out, your pistol will have a whole bunch of sway. So it adds sway to the beginning of the pull-out animation, which is, to make it more difficult for you to hit things. However, you can negate that entirely by just leading with your pistol, but whatever, it doesn't matter. When I say leading, I mean as in you start your first shot with your pistol rather than your primary, but whatever. This particular change, the change to quick switching, which has been a skill that people such as myself and many other veterans have learned over the course of hundreds, if not thousands of hours, this particular skill is now, well, it's no longer a thing, really. You can still do it, like I said. It's just, you've got to place your shot a little bit more carefully, negate the sway, blah, blah, blah. There's more to it. There's a lot more to it. But ultimately, you can still do it. If that's your thing, you definitely can still quick switch. It's 100% still viable, but just harder to pull off. A lot of people are up in arms about this. A lot of people are really, really upset with this change. Me, I don't really mind it. Again, because this is just my impressions on it, I don't really mind the change. I don't really mind it so much, because this makes fights, generally anyway, draw out. They're more drawn out. They're longer, because you're not able to go tap. Right, you might land the first shot, but you'll miss the second. So fights become more drawn out, more meds are used. Bullets need to be placed more carefully, supplies dwindle, which means every fight is more impactful on your resources. As a result, every fight going on from that one is more tense because you got less resources, less to deal with. Well, that's the plan anyway, but what happens is you kill the people and then you loot the meds that you've used, or you loot the consumables you've lose from them, and you just move from there. So, here's what it is. Still, that being said, not many people, well, not everyone, I should say, is happy with this change. I don't mind it, but that's just me. There are a lot of other veterans who hate the change. A lot of friends of mine actually hate the change too, and that's okay. That's their opinion. Me personally, I don't mind it so much. If anything, it's just made me use faster firing weapons. Like, I'm using a lot more of the Vitelli now. I'm using a lot more of the Vitelli, or maybe I'm using, the Winfield. I'm using a lot more faster firing weapons than my whole, Sparks uppercut, which, don't get me wrong, still great, but no longer as good as it used to be. Moors and Lebel, fast firing weapons like that, still going to dominate, that's fine. But it's encouraged me to try different things, and I'm actually liking the Vitelli a lot more than I ever did. However, guns like the Dolch and the Bornheim are still king, so they can spam the spam, countering the fact that you can no longer quick switch as effectively. If anything, it's just a giant Dolch buff, but moving on from that, the other thing that came just after 1.4.4 is the Halloween event, which I think is fantastic. I'm really, really enjoying it. Essentially, there are pumpkins scattered around the map. You break these pumpkins to earn seeds or points. I'm calling them seeds, right? You break these pumpkins to earn seeds. You get the pumpkins from killing the butcher or scarecrows in fields, or just strewn pumpkins on the ground. And the amount of seeds you have equate to skin rewards in the Hunt store. So, at 1,000 seeds, you get the backbone, which is a wonderful skin for the Vitelli. I think at like 750, there's one for I can't remember the numbers actually, but there's a Pax Claw one, there's a Backbone one, there's a knife one, a heavy knife one, rather, that you start with. Like I said, this is more of just a ramble and not like I have all the figures and stats in front of you, but the point being is this Halloween event is fantastic. Not just because of the fact you get cool skins for things, and that's cool, but it's really, really good because it's content. It's actually the first, in my opinion anyway, content, and you can't see my fingers, but I'm doing quotation marks. It's the first content that Hunt Showdown has put in since Lawson Delta? Don't get me wrong, new guns are content, but I mean, this is an actual thing that people have to go out and play and do and experience. The next actual major content would be a boss or a map, something new to learn. Yeah, new guns, you get to learn how they work with the sway and the lead and all that fun stuff, but people figure it out pretty quickly. Whereas this Halloween event has, I believe we got 16,917 people, or something absolutely bonkers. Like the most players that Hunt has seen online, which shows that this game is extremely popular when there's content that is fresh and enjoyable and people want to play. And this is essentially, it's basically a glorified battle pass in some aspects, in terms of go out, get points, get skins for points, Anyway, I'm really happy with 1.4.4 and the Halloween event that came after. I'm happy with that. I think it's fantastic. I'm super happy for that. Actually, it's not for everyone, that's okay, I understand, but me, personally, I love it. I love that this Halloween event allows me to unlock skins that I otherwise wouldn't be able to get as of the time of recording. There are still 2 days remaining, so if you want your skins, now's the time to go and do it. I do actually like the quick switch change, because it's forcing me to use other weapons. Yeah, I'm upset that I'm no longer really able to use a skill that I've spent hundreds of hours honing, but you know what? If the future of this game is going to make me think twice about my loadout and maybe even learn something completely different, then I'm okay with that. I'm learning something new, I'm challenging myself, I'm trying new things, and that's what it's about. For me personally, again, many people are going to be pissed off, because many people are pissed off, because they spent hundreds or thousands of hours learning to quick switch, and it doesn't work the same anymore. I get it. I totally get it. But again, me personally, hunky-dory, baby. We're all good. Yeah, that's 1.4.4 in a nutshell. Quick switching came in, changed a whole bunch of stuff. There's some other cool perks like Necromancer, allowing you to revive people at a distance, but I'm just going to talk about the meat and potatoes, which is the quick switch, and now you know. Halloween event, super freaking cool. If you're playing right now, go get it. If you're, watching this in the future and the Halloween event's done, too bad, so sad. The skins are awesome, and you don't have them because you weren't playing, and you suck. You don't suck, you're probably great, but you know what I mean. Anyway, that's my brief, very small rundown of 1.4.4. If you're watching this and you already know what 1.4.4 is, well, you didn't really learn anything new, really, other than what I think about it. If you like 1.4.4, if you like the Halloween event, let me know. Drop a comment, drop a thing, send a carrier pigeon, write a note, tie it to a goldfish and fling it at me. It doesn't really matter. Just let me know what you think, because I'm curious what other people think. I can't be the only one that's like, you know what, fuck yeah, 1.4. I can't be the only one. I'm definitely not the only one. Let me know. You know where to find me. Twitch, Twitter, it's all down below. Have a good one.